Well, I'm excited today to get back with talking with our professor, Jude Wolf, in our Hey Jude segment. And today we're going to be talking about water level control on the boiling point.
Primary and low water cutoff devices are arguably the most important safeties on a boiler. Because if we don't have water in the boiler, it's going to be rapidly destroyed by the temperature of combustion. This is an example of a secondary low water cutoff probe housing, and we'll be talking about probe type low water cutoffs today. One advantage of using an externally mounted secondary low water cutoff, even if it's a probe type, is that it allows us to daily blow down and test operation of the safety. One difference between a probe type secondary low water cutoff and a float type is that a float type secondary will have a manual reset button in the immediate vicinity of the device. On a probe type low water cutoff, we have a relay that's enabling or disabling the limit circuit, and so that reset button may be remotely located. In this case, it's over on this panel. This unit has a Series 1 Warrick low water cutoff relay. Those were phased out about 3 years ago, and the wiring on them is significantly different than the modern style or the replacement, and so it's critically important to understand that if you're going to change out an older style relay. One advantage of the probe type low water cutoff devices that there are, one is this externally mounted pot. Another example is housing mounted on the center line of the boiler, and you can also put multiple probes in an external pot as you would frequently see on a water tube boiler. Let's take a look at some of the internal parts of the probe assemblies that we've been looking at. This is an example of the top housing. These have threaded inserts which the probes fit into, can be threaded in. An important part of assembling these is this copper washer, because that's what forms the mechanical seal to make it pressure tight. So don't lose your copper washer. The probes are available in 2-piece or single-piece assemblies. All probes are originally 3 feet or longer when you order them, so it's important that you know how long the probes are supposed to be on your boiler. I would recommend removing them every open and close. If you order a low water cutoff probe, it's going to be a standard length. You're going to be responsible for cutting that to the appropriate length for your boiler. So it's very important that you know what that proper length is. One great way to find that out is during your open and close for inspection. Remove the probe, clean it, check for pitting, maybe clean it with sandpaper, and measure it. And you can actually take a Sharpie, write that measurement down on the jacket of your boiler right next to the probe housing, and then you'll have that for the future. This is a Warrick probe housing. Other manufacturers may have different thread connections on the probe devices. Warrick uses a machined thread, which is why we rely on the washer to make a seal, but some manufacturers will have a tapered pipe thread in both the fitting and on the electrode, so they're not interchangeable. Many times one rod will be used as a grounding surface. On a single probe installation, the boiler itself is used as the ground for the electrical circuit. The way this operates is as the water rises and forms a junction between the two probes, that connection is recognized by the relay, and it pulls in and completes either the operating limit circuit or a high water alarm, whatever the case may be. Understanding how these components work together is an important part of checking the safeties on your boiler and having safe operation.
Well, appreciate Jude hanging out with us today and talking a little bit about water level control. Now Dominic right here, it's his birthday today, and so we're going to make sure that we're going to get him a suet job. So he is filthy dirty. It's always dirty work in the boiler industry. We always appreciate what these guys do. Make sure you like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, subscribe to that YouTube channel. If you don't mind, share a video for us. We'll see you next time on The Boiling Point.